How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer on SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today. Now, today, I wanted to take a step back and kind of look at things differently from how I usually do. So, usually after a game, the next podcast that comes out is a breakdown of the starting offensive line, but following a lot of injury and just kind of a lack of success at that area against the Dallas Cowboys, I figured let's look at something that has stood out consecutively for the Kansas City Chiefs in their losses as well as their wins. But if you did come here listening and looking for the offensive line review, I will just make it short and simple that Creed Humphrey, as I always say, he is the best offensive lineman the Chiefs have got on the roster, and he's definitely the best center in the National Football League. Now, there's some injury on the offensive line. Patrick Mahomes, it clearly showed for it, and it's something that they're definitely going to have to fix going forward, especially if they want to run the table and win out for their best chance of making it to the playoffs. But without further ado, I'm going to use Pro Football Focus in their premium statistics kind of calculator that looks at certain things and grades the entire performance between any single game for the Kansas City Chiefs and any of your favorite National Football League team. Now, no sponsor, nothing like this. I just enjoy looking at this stuff just because I think it kind of displays how well the team performs when they win and some things that stand out when they lose. So one thing when I'm looking at the losses, the best performance that the Chiefs had this season in a loss came against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 5. That was 74.1. In fact, only two of the Chiefs' losses of the 6 have overall grade of 70 or higher. And that was one against the Jacksonville Jaguars and against the Buffalo Bills in Week 9. They performed overall a 71.4 against Buffalo. Their worst game of the year, though, if you're looking at things kind of statistically, it is against the Los Angeles Chargers, where the overall performance had an overall grade of a 56.7. Now, when you look at all the wins that the Kansas City Chiefs have, it's fairly consistent. So we're going to break down each of their wins. They got their first win of the season against the New York Giants. They earned an overall grade of a 74. They beat the Baltimore Ravens, overall grade 74. Beat the Detroit Lions, overall grade 72.6. Beat the Las Vegas Raiders in a 31-0 complete shutout, 80.2. Against the Washington Commanders, the 28-7 victory, an 82.5. And in the Indianapolis Colts, 23-20. That just happened recently. The Chiefs walked it off. Overall grade of an 80.2. So you kind of see where I'm looking at here, what I'm going. There's a clear statistical difference in the overall performance for the Kansas City Chiefs when they are winning versus when they are losing. And a lot of their losses this season have come from one-score games, including the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 2, Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 5, the Denver Broncos in Week 11, just this past week against the Dallas Cowboys, a 31-28 loss. See, the losses feel extra hurtful because your team is almost there to defeat them. But when they do win, it's more soundly. 37-20 over the Ravens, 22-9 over the Giants, 30-17 over the Lions, 31 over nothing against the Raiders, 28-7 for the Commanders, 23-20. That's their first one-score victory. Meaning, what happens or what is the statistical standout in overall production when playing better and getting the victories, I will tell you, it is the fact that you are able to pass the football a lot better. A lot of their wins have come with a passing grade of 7. 3 of them come 75 or higher. And others, when they have their losses, kind of falter in that area. The pass blocking or receiving in victories, they are very successful. In losses, they are faltering. Then when you look at the defensive side of the ball, tackling, the best tackling game that ended in a victory was an overall grade of a 72.5. The worst was the loss against Jacksonville, was a 43.9. So you see like the differences in like the highest and the lowest. When the Kansas City Chiefs are playing really good, the games are going to be highly, highly competitive. And all they have to do is just get over that last hurdle, which they've been unable to do this season. But when they are winning, it is seamlessly and decisive. And you're going to know that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win that game almost if they take a 2-lead possession early on as possible. Because if teams kind of hang around and give the Chiefs a battle throughout all 4 quarters, we've seen Kansas City fall and falter a lot in those games. Meaning, going into the latter half of the season, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to need to have an overall production that is performative, distinctive, and super conclusive in the get-go. If you keep any team close, I just feel like the team has a lot of holes in it to where they're going to be able, they're being the opponents, are going to be able to capitalize on that and take over the game. And because, now it's just win or go home for any of the Kansas City Chiefs games. They have to win. And the way that they do that is an overall performative domination. If it's close, it gets a little dicey. Thankfully for the Chiefs, they do play 3 of their last 5 games at home at Arrowhead, where they have secured 5 of their 6 victories this season. And I think it's going to be something to pay attention to. Does the offense get off to the early lead? Can the defense hold that onto that lead while giving the offense another chance to go out there and score and put points on the board? If they don't and the defense allows points first, or the Chiefs have to continuously play catch up, I am very nervous for the chances. I think that it's not going to be any easy win, but that's just kind of the formula that they've displayed thus far when playing through 12 games this season. With that being said, though, be sure you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. Post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs while we go into the new regular season matchup against the Houston Texans that comes in December, I believe. So just a little bit of time away. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI, over on X and Facebook. Everything gets posted there. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs because Kansas City Chiefs on SI is the place to get your Kansas City Chiefs news. With that, be kind to one another. I'll see you tomorrow.